If you remember, if you go to a book trying to get smart, you might not ever get the point. But one of our friends, we always talk about him, but it's our dear friends, is he was telling some college students how he used to spend, how him and C.S. Lewis were friends. And everyone was freaking out, and they were like, "You're friends with Lewis?" And he told them a few other ones that maybe it was Chesterton. I forget the
G. Campbell Morgan.
Yeah. And they're like, "You knew Morgan? You knew Lewis?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I hung out with him quite a lot." And they didn't know what he meant, and so he took him to his flat, his apartment, and then he pointed to his bookshelf, and he goes, "There's Lewis, and there's Morgan, and there's Chesterton," whatever the list he was. And what he meant is, when I sit down, I'm sitting down with someone that has walked with God and has read the Bible, and the Lord has shown them some things about it. And you go, oh. And so for us, the Bible is always the book. There's no other book. But John, at the end of John, he says, if we wrote down every miracle he did, surely none of the books in the whole world could contain it. That's just how much Jesus does. And when he gives a guy a book, they start writing it. You have to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Like, remember, there's no book like the Bible. And so when you read the Bible, every word, every letter is important. And when you read someone's book, sometimes you can skip a few paragraphs until you get to the meat of it. But that's why we read books, is we're hanging out with people that have walked with God, some of them for 70 years. You get to some of these guys, they walked with God for a long time, and they show you some things about the Lord, and you're like, wow. And then you go back and read the Bible and go, Lord, I wouldn't have known this about you. You used this person's life